Well, welcome back to the Logic Speak podcast. I'm your host, Adam Bieber, and today I'm not sitting with Jason Etheridge. Today I have another guest in the studio, Tukker Penrod with Saprea. Welcome to the Logic Speak podcast.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Really appreciate being here and being able to have this opportunity to chat.
Yeah, man, we're really excited to have you on. As you know, we're super passionate at Logic Speak about serving our backyard, and the extension of that backyard is a ton of amazing nonprofit organizations and great people that are doing things that go far beyond selling widgets and services, but actually impact the lives of people. And so I'm really excited to have you on. Since you exist here in our backyard, you and I are friends outside of this studio, and you are involved with an organization doing some amazing work. Real quick for our listeners, our mission at Logic Speak is to use our abilities and technology to have a positive impact on the lives of our clients, employees, and community. And you guys are a big part of that community. So thank you again for being here.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
So for those that don't know, which I didn't know who or what Saprea was until I met you, would you just share a little bit about the organization?
Yeah, so right off the bat, we exist as an organization to liberate individuals in society from child sexual abuse.
Wow.
And its lasting impacts. So really, at the core of who Saprea is and all that we do can be encapsulated in that one mission statement.
Mm-hmm.
So it really comes down to kind of three key areas. One, awareness. So we want to continue the dialogue around such a taboo, sensitive topic. But if we're not talking about it, it's not getting any better.
Yeah.
So awareness is a huge part of our organization. Prevention. We want to prevent it from ever happening, right? And then third is really the healing journey of adults who have experienced this in their childhood, adolescent years.
Wow. Heavy stuff.
Yeah.
How did you come across Saprea, and what's your story and your connection to the organization?
So I met the founders probably, 10 plus years ago.
Sure.
And Saprea was just getting launched and off the ground, and learned about the organization and learned about the mission. I'm like, wow, this is, again, such a heavy topic.
Mm-hmm.
But they were just approaching it in such a way that brought healing and space for conversations and space for people to speak up and speak out. And I was like, wow, this is just incredible.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of just fell in love with the founders and their mission to provide space, one, for healing, but two, for conversations to help in preventing this from ever happening. And me and my wife were not newly married, but we had younger kids at the time, and it was a topic that we wanted to address with our kids, and so it just kind of leaned in a little bit, and was a big supporter of theirs, and really utilized their resources, as a parent, to then be able to have, okay, what kind of conversations do I have with my kids?
Yeah.
I grew up in a great house, but sex was never a real topic in our house.
Yeah.
Where it was open dialogue, where I felt comfortable or confident in asking questions.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to kind of change that dynamic for our kids.
Yeah.
I wanted a more open conversation with them, because I knew where I learned about it. And most of the time it was on the bus.
Yeah, sure.
Or from friends.
Yeah.
And so me and my wife, we wanted to be that resource for our kids.
Wow.
To where they could come up to us and say, hey, I heard this, or I saw that. Can I ask a question? What does this mean? And so the Saprea's resources, just from early on of the parent conversation resources, just really helped us dive into that.
Wow, that's great.
And so that's really where I got connected with Saprea, and kind of built a passion for what they were doing. And then it was, a handful of years later where I got the opportunity to come on and join the team. But
That's awesome. And would you share a little bit about just your family dynamic? You've got a bunch of kids. Every time I see him, I'm like, you still got all those kids? He's like, still do.
Still there.
And if someone's watching this, you're deceivingly, you look deceivingly young because you were like, oh, we had young kids at the time. You've got some teenagers in the house now.
Yeah.
So kind of share a little bit about that.
Yeah, so surprising enough, I've been married for 17 years.
Let's go.
And we have 5 kids.
Wow.
We have 16, 14, 12, 8, and 5.
Whew.
So kind of a big spread.
Yeah.
But it's a crazy house. It's never dull.
No.
Always exciting. Always something going on. Me and my wife were just having this conversation past couple of days of like, it never ends. Like there's always something.
You want to know what thought just entered my mind was, depending on when your last one potty trained, you had a stretch of like 14 straight years of diapers in the house.
Yeah, so we've been a little fortunate to where only one kid has been in diapers at a time.
Oh wow!
So that's been really good. And then we do have a 4-year gap between our third and our fourth.
Got it.
So there was a period of time where we didn't have any diapers, and then kind of got back into it.
Yeah.
But it's that diaper phase is no joke.
No joke, man. It is liberating when a child potty trains. It's wonderful.
Yeah.
Man, that's awesome. Big family, a really compelling why. I mean, I love that you guys had such a personal driver for understanding the resources that Saprea has and the vision for this organization, and just the opening up your home to be a place where open dialogue can exist, because oftentimes I think we were probably raised similarly. Great home, great childhood, not a strong topic of conversation within the house. And so whether it was something good or something bad, nothing was talked about. And I think that's the case for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And so the fact that you guys are making an effort to provide resources to help parents have age-appropriate conversations, that awareness is huge. And that openness and awareness hopefully leads to people being able to feel like they can get the healing faster if they were part of an unfortunate situation where they were abused.
Yeah. And I think you hit the nail on the head of what you just said of age-appropriate conversations.
Yeah.
So it's not the big talk, right? And I think that's kind of how my upbringing was, and a lot of people's upbringing is, all right, it's time to have the talk.
Yeah.
And then you don't like have any other talks after that.
No.
In a lot of cases. And so Saprea has built resources to be able to help parents understand what can we talk about with our kids at whatever age they are.
Cool.
So even our littles, I have a 5-year-old and we've been talking to him, over the past couple of years about his anatomical name for body parts.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's a big one. So that they understand and know terminology, for one.
Yep.
And I think it kind of sets a cadence for the child to understand, like, this is appropriate conversations. So as we make up nicknames or funny names, and then it kind of sets like maybe an awkward, taboo tone around the conversation. And so if we just address it and talk about it of what it is, just like any other body part, then it kind of sets that standard of like, oh, I can talk about this. I can ask a question, and it just kind of helps in that dialogue throughout that child's life.
It's really good.
And not to say that you have to start when they're young, start where they're at.
Yeah.
And open that dialogue in those conversations. And, my 16-year-old, we didn't start when, she was 2, 3, 4 years old. We maybe started, when she was 6, 7, 8 years old. I didn't want it.
Sorry.
But
when you have a young child and someone says 6 or 7, you just I'm so sorry.
But like, so we started when she was about 7, maybe even 8, of just talking openly, having conversations. I remember she came off the bus one time and said, "Mom, can I ask you a question? I saw something on the bus, and I didn't know what it was, and so she asked my wife, and I was like, that's what we want.
Yep.
That's what I want for our kids is
safety, open dialogue.
Exactly. Feeling comfortable coming home and saying, hey, I saw this. Can you explain it? Or
not waiting
can you share more about it?
Not waiting till a sleepover or the next time you're on the bus to learn more.
Right.
Going to a safe and trusted adult to have that conversation.
Yeah.
That's huge. A big component of what I've learned about Saprea is how you guys are walking alongside adults who are healing from childhood trauma, healing from sexual abuse in their past. Talk to me a little bit about the resources that you guys have today to help with some of that.
Yeah, and that's really where Saprea started.
Yeah.
Our founders just had this vision of creating an environment where an individual could work on their healing journey.
Yeah.
So somebody close to them was sexually abused as a child, and they saw the weight and the guilt and the shame and all the heaviness that comes along with that trauma, playing out in this individual's life as they were an adult. And so they kind of took this as like, somebody needs to do something to be able to help that individual who is not in a current crisis, but is still struggling every day with the weight of childhood trauma.
Yeah.
And so they had this vision, a retreat kind of nestled in the mountains, where somebody could come and really focus on themselves.
Wow.
Right.
Wow.
And so that's where it started. Our Saprea retreat started in 2015, and we've hosted over 6,000 participants through our retreat alone.
Wow.
Over the last 10, 11 years.
Amazing.
Yeah. So our retreat is one of our main programs, 4-day in-person psychoeducational.
Cool.
We don't do one-on-one therapy. It's all kind of group sessions, but we have classes like trauma in the brain, understanding how trauma has impacted the brain, how to create new neural pathways because of that, right? Understanding shame, working through that, understanding triggers, how to work through triggers. Mindfulness. We have 3 key healing practices within our organization or within all of our content and resources is acknowledgement, mindfulness, and aspiration. So that's really kind of at the core of all of our programs and resources that we have. And it's all clinically driven and research proven.
That's great.
So from retreat, we have a webinar, our healing webinar, and that is basically an intro into retreat. So again, it takes the same materials, but instead of 4 days, it's 3 hours. So obviously very condensed, but still very impactful. And then we have support groups that are worldwide. Actually, we have almost 100 active support groups right now.
Wow.
In 4 different languages.
Wow.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah. And then just online resources that are, again, available in 4 different languages. So
that's amazing. What I love is that there's the clinically proven and tested methodologies. Several years ago, probably 6 or 7 years ago, I also did a deep dive into just understanding trauma and childhood trauma with someone that I was close to, having walk through some of the repercussions of what adult life looks like when that's part of your story. And so learning about neural pathways. There's a great book. I don't know if you've read it, called The Body Keeps the Score.
Yeah.
Wow. Tons of research, tons of data, but super, super helpful in understanding how the body responds, how your brain and body protect itself.
Yep.
Why trauma sometimes stunts growth in certain areas.
Yep.
And how you can work to build and create new neural pathways and learn healing techniques to move past the trauma and the fight or flight kind of tendency into a more regulated and healed version of yourself.
Yeah.
You can't ignore it. It's not like pretending it never happened.
Right.
But it's the acknowledgement and the work.
Right.
To heal and be whole on the other side.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure is a difficult journey for anyone.
100%. But that's why Saprea exists.
Yeah.
Right. Is to be able to help that individual.
Yeah.
To help work through that healing journey.
Yeah.
And again, we want to prevent that from ever happening. That's why we're so big on awareness and prevention.
Yep.
But we acknowledge that it has happened.
Yeah.
And there are individuals continually struggling within that journey.
Sure.
And we want to be there to be able to help support them.
So Saprea is based in Salt Lake.
Yes.
Amazing. About a year ago, I was in Salt Lake for a different trip and just happened to drive by the building and see Saprea on the building. And remember, I took the picture and sent it to you.
Yeah.
It was really cool to see. I knew that they were out there. I didn't click that I would see the name up on a building, which was really cool. So their headquarters is out there, but you live here in the Atlanta metro area, and your focus is this area, this backyard. So tell us a little bit about your role and what's happening in Atlanta with Saprea.
Yeah. So kind of early on, Saprea saw that we want to be able to provide resources all over.
Yeah.
We want to provide as many resources as we can to as many people as we can. And so very early on, it was kind of in the vision to be able to open up markets, if you will.
Yeah.
To be able to continue to share resources, collaborate with other organizations at a local level. We have to be able to help locally.
Yeah.
Before we can help nationally.
Yep.
Before we can help globally.
Yeah.
And so Saprea launched actually in Atlanta in 2019, and that's when I joined the team. And so my role within the organization is to be able to help develop partners, whether that's community, programmatic partners, financial partners, a donate at checkout, or a portion of proceeds, or something to that effect. We want to be able to create partners to be able to collaborate with to expand our reach.
Yeah.
And expand those resources so that more people have access and the ability to take advantage of those resources. Because I didn't mention this yet, but everything that Saprea does and offers, from all of our programs to all of our content and materials, is 100% free.
Wow.
Nobody has to pay for anything.
Wow.
The only expense that participants would incur is if they go to retreat.
Yep.
Because it is in Salt Lake.
Yep.
They would have to pay their travel expenses to get there. But we pick them up at the airport. We, house them. We feed them. Everything is taken care of.
Wow.
And that was very important to our founders, from the very beginning, is how can we limit the barriers at which somebody would get healing.
Yep.
And financial is a huge
one of the
barrier,
biggest. Yeah,
right?
probably one of the biggest,
right.
for sure.
And so everything that we do within our organization is free. And so that's why we try to collaborate as much as we can.
Sure.
With partners to be able to help pay for those resources.
So is there an application process for the retreat? And then I would imagine you guys have to turn people away.
Yeah, there is an application process, and it comes to our intake team, and they go through that and have a call with that participant. One thing that we pride ourselves on, I think, is trying to be able to create space for everybody. Currently, our resources are, and specifically, retreat, our webinar, our support groups, and our online resources are really geared towards a female audience.
Yeah.
And so they are only for adult females. But we want to create space, for everybody.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so our intake team does have conversations with the participants to make sure that we're creating a safe environment for them and for the others participating in the retreat. So we host about 16 women at a time, 16 to 18, in two groups of 8 or 9. And so we want to create a safe environment. Yeah. And so Somebody is not ready for retreat currently, it's rarely and seldomly a no. It's typically a not right now.
Yeah.
And we'll follow up.
Sure.
Or you follow up with us.
Yeah. Join a support group and journey with them.
Engage maybe in a different resource.
Sure.
Before, coming and utilizing the retreat. Because retreat experience is kind of a one-time only.
Yeah.
We want to be cognizant of our donors' dollars. And so retreat is only, one-time thing.
Yeah.
And so we want to make sure that they're ready.
Yeah.
And because it's, you have to be at least in a certain place in your healing journey. You can't be in a crisis mode.
Sure.
Because you're worried about too many other things that are immediate needs, right? And so you have to be in somewhat of a stable setting to really benefit and consume what we're going to be going over at retreat and in those conversations.
That makes total sense. So for the listener, majority of our listeners are connected to us at Logic Speak, whether they be existing clients, friends of ours, folks in the community, folks that you and I know from the chamber. A lot of it is right here in North Fulton.
Yeah.
Anybody can get involved. Anybody can call you up or connect with you and ask questions and give donations and support financially. But like for someone in North Fulton that's like, I'm connecting with Tukker and I'd like to get more involved, what could someone in this area do?
Yeah, great question. And I think it depends on what they're looking for.
Yeah.
But I'll give you a couple examples. One thing that we're trying to lean more into right now is human resources and being able to support HR representatives as they support their employees.
Wow, that's
right?
great. Yeah.
So if an organization is already offering health benefits, we could come in alongside and be able to, again, just provide resources for their employees.
Yeah.
Because like you said, child sexual abuse and trauma just doesn't go away.
Yeah.
We can't sweep it under the rug as we enter into adulthood and enter the workforce.
Yep.
And so survivors are, working right alongside us, but may have a different struggle than we do on a daily basis.
Sure.
And so to be able to support from an employee level is something that we want to do more of.
Cool.
Again, just have the conversation. There's a lot of organizations that provide other health benefits or resources for their employees.
Sure.
And so we just want to be one of those. And again, there's no cost.
Yeah.
It's free.
Yeah.
And so we just want to engage in the conversations. Maybe it's a lunch and learn with the staff. Maybe it's resources within their health packet that they get during enrollment. So I think that is a great way to engage, especially locally, is, hey, let's have that conversation. Let's come in and do a training, an overview. And not only, from a survivor perspective, but from a parent perspective.
Yeah.
Right?
Good.
Our parents and are raising our next generation. And again, going back to what we were talking about earlier, let's have conversations of how we can prevent this from ever happening. How do we reduce the risk that our child will be abused?
Yeah.
And we have specific classes that we can teach on that.
Those are great practical examples, because I think sometimes people hear about this stuff and it's like, okay, now what?
Yeah.
But for the business owner, business leader, HR leader, there's a really practical way that you could take advantage of the free resources and equip your employees, because chances are, just based on the statistical chances in any given organization, you're going to have a couple of people that may have childhood trauma as part of their story.
Yeah.
So why not further the support that you're giving past just the regular
exactly.
health benefits?
And the statistics around child sexual abuse, 1 in 4 girls before the age of 18 will be sexually abused. and about 1 in 10 boys. So that's 1 in 8 of our employees
Yeah.
have experienced
Yeah.
childhood trauma, specifically sexual abuse trauma.
Mm-hmm.
And so to be able to then offer, again, at a high level of, hey, employees, here's Saprea. Here's what they do. Here's who they are. Here's how they can support. And then the employee has the opportunity to then engage, in a private, personal setting.
Yeah.
They can go on our website on their own, but if they don't know about us, then how do they know where to, have resources?
Yep.
And in some cases, individuals are desperately looking for resources to help them in their healing journey.
Yeah.
And maybe contemplating other things.
Yeah.
To get away from trauma. And so by providing access to resources, you're helping and bettering your employees.
Yeah.
And again, it's as you share this with employees, because of the statistics and what they are, everybody within that organization has somebody in their life
Yeah.
that has experienced child sexual abuse. Now, they may not be aware of it.
Yeah.
That might be the question.
True.
But somebody in everybody's circle of influence, because again, numbers 1 in 8.
Yep.
We all know
More than 8 people.
more than 8 people.
Yeah.
So just by statistics alone.
Yeah.
And again, we may not know it, but if we're engaging in the conversation of
And
like,
support.
hey, here's
Yeah.
what I learned. Or I share a post about Saprea because I learned about it, in my job at my company. And I'm like, oh, wow, this is interesting. Like, I want to be able to share that this is a good organization. I learned about it at work today. And then somebody sees that on Facebook.
Yeah.
You never know where that ripple will go.
Yep.
You never know. And that's why I love having these conversations. And that's why I love going into businesses and having those conversations, because you never know where that ripple is going to go and whose life that's going to impact.
Wow. That's really compelling. I mean, that's a really, really powerful why, which I was going to ask you, like, what keeps you going? I'm not even going to ask you that. Like, it seems
that's
like
exactly what keeps me going, is
Yeah.
because I've seen the healing that has taken place in somebody's life.
Yeah.
Early on when I got connected to Saprea, just learning about it and just talking more about it, I had a couple people come up to me and be like, that's my story.
Mm.
And I grew up with them and had
Wow.
no idea.
Wow.
And I was just kind of taken back a little bit and just, again, kind of in shock, but kind of like, I wish I could have helped
Known or
in some
done
way.
something. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Just be more supportive, if I would have known.
Yeah.
And then it just became, we got to continue to talk about this. We have to continue this conversation. 1, to help prevent it from ever happening, but 2, to be able to help that survivor who has gone through that and is looking for ways to better their life, work through that journey,
Yeah.
and be able to step into the person that they were meant to be.
Yeah.
And that's what I saw our founders trying to do, is being able to help people reach their full potential. And it's, specifically in a lane of child sexual abuse, but I really resonated with stepping into your potential.
Mm.
I felt maybe at the time I wasn't living up to my potential. And I was like, what can I do? What's my potential? How can I step into my potential, do more than maybe I'm currently doing? And I really felt like this was it. And so that's a little my why of just trying to help continue the conversations, to reach everybody.
Yeah. Thank
Yeah.
you for the work that you're doing. Thank
Yeah,
you
thank
for leaning into a hard mission, but doing work that is extremely needed and honorable and worthy of the work. It is worth it to support the 1 in 8 people. It is worth it to prevent those numbers. It is worth it to have the conversations and open up the door for friends and family and people in your sphere of influence to get resources that are available for them. It's extremely honorable. So thank you for sharing it.
I
really
appreciate that.
it.
Thank you.
One thing you and I talked about is, although this will come out towards the end of the month of March, April is Sexual Assault Awareness and Prevention Month, which is a big month for you guys.
Yeah.
And one thing I just want to encourage the listeners to do is, one, connect with Tukker. You'll see he'll be tagged, and you'll see ways to get in touch with him and Saprea. Follow their organization, and I would just encourage you. They're going to be posting a lot in April about this month, and it's a great opportunity for you to lean in by just hitting the repost or sharing, hey, I just learned about this organization. Awareness can go a really long way here. And like you said, you'll never really know the ripple effects, but it's worth doing.
Yeah. Yeah. You may never see where that post goes.
Yeah.
Or who sees that or who needs that. I'll give you a quick example. When I started at Saprea, I started posting more.
Yeah.
Obviously on LinkedIn about Saprea, our resources and things like that. And somebody that I had connected to from a previous job, actually the job that I had come from, she was a partner and reached out to me on LinkedIn and said, hey, can I learn more about Saprea and your organization? And so we chatted a little bit, and she shared that she was a survivor, and that was her story. And just that was, I don't know, 7 years ago. And she started to really engage in Saprea's resources. She leads one of our support groups.
Wow.
She's just an amazing individual that would have never known about Saprea had I not posted about it. So you just never know where that post goes or who sees that and whose story that is. Because again, it's not something that we openly talk about. It's not something where it's on our LinkedIn profile, and so you just never know where that post is going to go. So, like you said, April is going to be a really active month for Saprea and our social campaigns and things like that. So, like, share, follow, all the things.
Yeah.
You just never know where that will go, and that's something that people can easily and quickly help.
Yeah.
You talked about engaging in partnering or Saprea. That's one easy way.
Yeah.
Is follow, share, or comment, like a post, because somebody else will see that.
Yeah. Somebody
else in your network may see that, and they may never reach back out to you to say, "Hey, thank you for posting that because I saw it, and now I'm in a better spot in my healing journey." You may never get that.
Yeah.
I hope one day we might be able to see some of our impacts that we've had.
Yeah.
But that's not the point. And so if listeners can like, comment, follow, share, would be a huge help during the month of April, because it's a national month. It's not, it's not just our month.
Yeah.
It's a national month centered around child abuse prevention, and sexual assault awareness.
Yeah.
And so that's another point that companies can engage. Is it creates good dialogue of like, hey, April's National Child Abuse Prevention Month. We're going to have Saprea come in to talk to our employees and just share who they are and what they are doing in our community, because this is an important topic that we want to continue to address. So that's another way of engagement and action.
That's huge. Well, connect with Tukker on LinkedIn. Be sure to shoot him a message after you listen to this. You can go to saprea.org to learn more. If you're a survivor looking for resources, I would just encourage go to the website. And if there's something that we can do to help connect you better to Saprea, please let me know. You can send me a direct message. We want to support the survivors here in our backyard because, again, this is worthy work. And so, Tukker, it's been such an honor to have you on. Thank you for sharing so much of Saprea's story and your connection to it and your why. And I hope that this is encouraging to those that are listening. We always want to provide helpful resources to our audience. And the idea of being able to connect them to other amazing people in our backyard that are doing far more worthy work I just count it an honor of mine to be able to facilitate that. So thank you.
Yeah. No, I, again, appreciate the opportunity to have me on, to have this conversation, and like you said, of just being able to help support those organizations in your backyard and support your community.
Yeah.
I just really appreciate Logic Speak and doing that and engaging in that way. So
Yeah.
Thank you for everything that you guys are doing, not just for Saprea, but for all the other organizations that you guys support and have on and try to help people become aware of. So
Yeah.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Well, to our audience, thank you for listening, and we'll be back with more. Tukker, thanks.